Welcome to the Fertility Mind podcast. I am your host, Jessica Friesen, a certified fertility mindset coach, a sound healer, and an international best-selling author. My mission for this podcast is to give you weekly episodes where you hear my own success with IVF and how mindset and manifestation changed it all for me. You will also hear from my guests who share their success stories in the fertility world. I want you to know that you are not alone. Even when things feel tough and when things feel like they aren't going your way, the tools and techniques you will get in this podcast I know can change everything for you too. So thanks for being here with me today, and let's dive in. Hello and welcome back. Today's episode is on gratitude. So yes, I know we talked about gratitude in season 1, but I want to dive deeper on gratitude for you. So as you know, my word for 2024 is experience. I want you guys to experience your manifestations coming true. I want you to experience what you want to experience. I want you to experience how powerful your mind is. I want you to experience a greater love, joy, and happiness and gratitude. I truly know and believe that gratitude breathes life into everything that you do. But I want to stop here for a second. I want you to either press pause if you're at a point that you can pause and journal, or journal tonight when you get home. I want you to think about, what does gratitude mean to you? How do you feel about gratitude? Do you have a daily gratitude practice? And if you do you write things down quick? Do you connect with those things that you're writing down that you're truly grateful for? Are you writing something down just to write something down and check it off the list that, yep, you did your gratitude today? I want you to think about that. That's part of getting raw and real with yourself, so you can solidify the clarity that you're putting in your mind. I am being very intentional of how these episodes are laid out for you, step by step by step. I get emails and DMs, and from my own clients, it's always about the how. How do I find gratitude in this? How do I find gratitude in that? How do I manifest this? How do I do this? I want you to understand that in the simplest form, it's a choice. In season 1, when I did my episode on gratitude, I received emails and DMs, people saying, how do you find gratitude when you are in the trenches of your fertility journey? How do you find gratitude when it seems that every time I leave my house, I run into someone, whether I know them or not, but I see someone who is expecting or who has a young family, and it's just that proof that I don't have what I want, what I desire, and it just seems like it's that much further until I'm going to get it. You're living in fear. You're living in uncertainty. So I talked about, if you were to go out for a walk or drive to work or do something, can you notice the color red? As I say this, a red car just drove past my window. Where you hold your awareness, where you hold your visions, where you hold your thoughts, you will start to see that. I shared with you when my husband and I do dreaming and vision boarding and really connecting to our dreams. He really wants to have a Porsche one day. Does our actual physical bank account say he can go out and buy a Porsche today? Absolutely not. But his awareness, he is tuned in that this is something that he would love to have one day. Now everywhere he goes, he sees a Porsche. I'm talking about the color red for you. And you can do this with gratitude, because if you wake up every single day going about your day with no focus, you just wake up, do your daily methods of operation, whatever your day looks like, and you're going through it blindly, your attention is not going to notice that red anywhere. Your attention is not focused on what it is that you truly desire. You're just noticing all the things that you don't have that you would love. If you can't cultivate gratitude, ask yourself why. When I talk with my clients, or if people send me a direct message or an email, I ask them certain questions. Explain to me, give me a Coles Note version of your fertility journey right now. How are you feeling? I want to get connected with how you're feeling, because even in the darkest of times, you can absolutely find gratitude. But do you believe that you can? I'm going to say this again. How I found gratitude in the darkest of times may not resonate with you. In the simplest form, without knowing your emotional impacts and without knowing every single detail that you've gone through and your conditioning from the moment of birth to where you are right now, the simplest thing is you choose. You choose gratitude. Can you choose to connect with your desires, your goals, your dreams? Can you choose your mood? The answer in the simplest form is yes. I can go into detail of how, when I was experiencing a miscarriage, that was a really hard time for me. But I want to back that up. On my first embryo transfer that failed, those emotional impacts were different and the feelings were different, and how I processed it and how I internalized it was different than my seventh failed transfer. Each and every one of those had something, and I processed that differently, and how I process that could be very differently than how you process it, how you internalize it, how you take it, how you persevere through it. But I will share with you, I considered my miscarriage to be a very hard time. On a Friday morning, I went down to my fertility clinic. I was doing my fourth beta. They had called me to tell me that my numbers were doing great. They had more than doubled. Everything was looking amazing. Hours later, all of a sudden, I was cramping. I had these weird pains. I'm not going to go into detail. I called my fertility clinic. I said, something is off. Something is off. And they said, come in Monday morning. We'll do another beta test. We'll figure something out. We'll see what's going on. I knew that something was going on with my body. All weekend, my mind was in dark places. I kept trying to pull myself out. I kept trying to dive into gratitude, but I knew the pending answer. I don't want to make this about me, but I want you to understand. Monday morning, I went in, I did beta. When they called me and they told me my numbers had dropped significantly, that I am now miscarrying, I was so beside myself. I asked the universe, why the F would I have to go through this? Why does anyone have to go through this? That day, what I found gratitude in is that I could sit on my couch, I could wrap myself in a blanket, I could cry in peace for a couple of minutes. My first 3 failed transfers, I had to process those at work. I was grateful that I could actually be at home and process this information in the comfort of my own home. So, how I process gratitude again may be different than you, but it was a choice. It was a choice to choose gratitude. I was grateful that I could go to bed that night and just fall asleep. I was grateful for the support that my husband gave me. I was grateful because at that point in my life, I had already had my twins. The chatter didn't go away. I chose to keep connecting. I chose to dive into gratitude in my ability to know that I am not giving up on my dream. I chose to find gratitude in the smallest of places. There's a Harry Potter quote that I love by Dumbledore, and he talks about, you can find light in the darkest places if you remember to turn the light on. Can you remember to dive into gratitude? Because when I get emails and I get DMs and you explain to me that, how is it possible for you to find gratitude? This is cruel. This is horrific. This is everything under the sun, and all of those low negative emotions. I get it. But what can you find gratitude for? Can you find gratitude that the sun was shining today? I'm not a huge fan of winter, but I can tell you that when the sun is shining and it reflects off the snow and it looks like sparkles and it's just glistening, I look at that and I think, wow, that's beautiful. I am grateful that I get to see different seasons and feel different seasons, and there's outdoor activities that I can do in all of them. I know in season one, I talked about emanating a gratitude that just felt so amazing, that you were producing such a high vibration. Yes, but I want you guys to experience gratitude on a very different level. How I experience gratitude now is far different than what it was when I was going through my fertility journey. But it all started with a choice to choose to find gratitude in the hardest of times. What can you find gratitude for? You can choose to find gratitude. And no matter how much you can tell me all of the conditioning, all of your emotional impacts, all of the things that you've gone through from birth to where you are now, you can still find gratitude. No matter walk of life, no matter what you've experienced, I need you to understand you can dive into gratitude. But no amount of journaling gratitude is going to help you if you don't feel it. No amount of gratitude is going to help you if you don't believe it. Do you believe that you are powerful? If you don't, why? I want to share this with you. Before I had my coaching business, I was meeting people over Zooms. I was meeting people in coffee shops in my local city. And one of my very first, let's call them my client. I was never paid for this. This was something that I just did with the goodness of my heart before I knew I wanted to get into coaching or things like that. We went out for coffee and she was sharing with me the news that she had just heard from the week before. And she woke up saying, she in the coffee shop, she was saying, like, I woke up in a really bad mood. I just want this day to be over. Thank you for meeting me, but just, give me grace. I'm not in my best. And I said, okay, that's okay. And I let her talk. I let her share all the things that she was going through. And basically, what she kept summing up is like, I just want to stay in this mood because no matter what, no matter amount of focusing on what it is that I want or different things, it's not going to change. So I started with something small and I said, can you be grateful for anything today? And she said, what am I supposed to be grateful for? I'm not sleeping well. I don't have my desired family. There is rocky times in my relationship right now because both my husband and I are struggling on this fertility journey. There's resentment on both parts. We're not where we want to be. Please tell me how I can find gratitude. I'll say this again, gratitude looks different for everyone. And I said, okay, well, let's not big picture everything. Let's break it down smaller. What can you be grateful for at this very second? And she said, I don't know. And I said, what's something that you love to do in the summer? And she said, I love to go to the beach. I love to, have late night sunset walks on the beach and feel my feet in the water. I like to lounge in my pool. And I said, okay, can you be grateful for that? And she said, we're in the middle of winter. How are you grateful for summer? And I said, can you be grateful for water? And she said, yeah, I guess. And I said, well, if you were grateful for water, what would you be grateful for? She started saying, well, if I'm thirsty, I can go get a drink of water. When I want to have a shower, there's water there. When it's a beautiful summer beach day, I can swim in the lake. If I go on trips with my husband, I can swim in the ocean. I can swim in my pool. I can do my evening walks on the beach and I can feel the sand in the water and I can feel all these amazing things. And I said, and how does that feel? And she said, good. And I asked her, I said, what else can you be grateful for? And she said, well, I'm grateful for my dog because when times are tough, she doesn't give me attitude and we can just curl up on the couch. I said, okay. I said, and how does that feel? And she said, it's amazing to know that my dog is so loving and so caring. And, when I just need a break from fighting with my husband or just feeling the animosity or the tense feeling in our house, I can take my dog for a walk. It's a great excuse. I said, great. So someone that was wanting to stay in this mood all day, not intentionally wanting to stay in this mood, but so consumed with everything, she started finding gratitude. By the end of our hour and a half long conversation, she left with a smile on her face. And she said, I had no idea that gratitude could do that for me. And I had no idea that I could find things to be grateful for considering everything I'm going through. That's just one example, guys. You can find gratitude, and it is a choice. I know that may be hard for some of you because when you are so conditioned and the longer you've been on your fertility journey, the louder the chatter is. You've already driven to a fertility clinic. You've already had a blood draw. You've already had a good old meeting with Wanda, the internal ultrasound wand. You've had a meeting with your fertility doctor. You've had all of these emotional impacts. So every time you go to gear up for your next cycle, whatever that looks like for you, you've experienced those things. So you already know those emotions. So connecting with that is super easy. Guys, I will share with you, connecting with gratitude wasn't always easy for me when I didn't know what gratitude meant for me. I will take you back to a time, and I'm going to share this small little bit because this isn't about me, this is about you. But I just shared with you about going through my miscarriage and how I could find gratitude that, you know what, I could do something little each day. I had food in my fridge, I could make myself something. No, that was not emanating this beautiful high frequency, but I was grateful for the little things. I was grateful for my mind that I kept knowing that I'm not giving up. I was grateful for my mind for seeking things like audiobooks and coaches and other things like that. That was in my secondary fertility journey. But on my drives to my fertility clinic when I was by myself, I chose to listen to Law of Attraction audiobooks so that my car was filled with amazing messages. I wasn't driving there listening to a radio, flicking through the stations, being like, oh, I don't like that song. I don't like that song. I'm driving by myself. I'm feeling alone. Do you see the difference? Guys, do you see the difference? I'm asking you to see the difference because I want you to be able to understand that you have a choice. When people say to me, I don't know how I can find gratitude, I'll work with you on how you can find gratitude. You can find gratitude in the smallest of ways. Plant that little seed and watch it grow. Before I started listening to Law of Attraction audiobooks, guys, I had triggers. My life, yes, will look different than yours. I had three little amazing girls that I got to take to the park, but can I tell you, every time I went to the park and I saw young little kids that maybe they were going in the swing for the very first time, maybe it was their 10th time, but I'm talking like little babies that were going in the swing for the first time. I didn't get to have the firsts of my little girls. And yes, I got to experience things with them, but we're not going into the whole blended family life. But yes, nothing is simple in a blended family life. And I was triggered because I would look at those moms while I was playing with my little girls and trying to have fun. And I would be in that duality because month after month, my husband and I were trying and it wasn't working. And yes, I could live in the moment with my girls, but I would see a young little baby in the swing and I'd be like, do I ever get to experience those firsts? Do I ever get to know what it's like to be pregnant, to hold my own baby in my arms instead of family members or my friends' kids? Do I ever get to experience this? Because I didn't get the baby stage. I got an 8, a 6, and a 3-year-old, 2.5-year-old. All amazing things. But I was still triggered. And I also had people in my ear constantly telling me I should feel gratitude because I already have kids. At least I get to experience kids. They had no idea what I was going through. They had no idea what I was experiencing. I don't hold judgment against those because until you experience infertility, people are ignorant to how it feels of your emotions. And I don't mean ignorant in a rude way, but I was even ignorant to infertility. I was excited to just, grow my family, but month after month after month, and it wasn't working. And me questioning, thinking, why isn't this working? Like, I'm young. Like, my periods are regular. What's going on? And then finding ourselves smack dab in the middle of a fertility world, hearing all of these medical terms, talking about, you don't get to go to IUIs. We're going straight to IVF. This is the amount that, we're going to start at. So plan on spending about this much. My world was spinning. So, yeah, when I first started gratitude, I understand, guys, it wasn't easy, but I started finding gratitude in science. I started thinking, science has advanced so much. I didn't have to think about how they do an egg retrieval or how they created my medical protocol or medications. I didn't think about how they actually take the sperm and fertilize the egg and grow it in a petri dish for 3, 5, or 6 days before they can even miraculously freeze it. Like, can you be grateful that science is this advanced that it gets to help you? I found gratitude and took a little bit of pressure off myself. I now have a fertility doctor and fertility nurses that are on my side using science and helping me on my next steps to creating my family. Can you find gratitude in that? Can you find gratitude in the smallest of things to plant the seed to allow it to grow? Gratitude breathes life into everything. If you are living in a state of everything is not happening for you, it's happening to you, you're overwhelmed, you're tired, you're stressed out, you're anxious, you are all of the above. When I ask you to get raw and real with yourself, is it seeming overwhelming? Is it seeming like it's just one more thing that you have to do? And if you're not good at it, you're going to fail that too? I want you to get raw and real with yourself. Because when you can get into a place of gratitude, you can get into a place where that doesn't feel overwhelming. It's more exciting that you are creating and choosing to get one step closer to your manifestations and your desire to see and have and hold your family. I'm going to say this because I think you guys are ready to hear this. All your low emotions create low vibrations, which are disruptive or destructive to your manifestations. And even worse, sometimes they can destroy your manifestations. What do I mean when I say that? If you think about every time you are existing, you're surviving, you're not thriving, you're showing up, you're barely making it through the day. Maybe you have clients or patients or people that you interact with, coworkers all day long, and you put on a smile because you really don't want them to let them know how you're feeling on the inside, but you're exhausted when you come home. Or maybe you heard someone complaining about how they were up all night with their little one, and deep inside you're thinking, I'd give anything to feel exhausted because I was up all night with my little one, because I would give anything for my little one, to have my little one, to have that certainty that this was going to happen for me. Instead, I live in a place of, I don't know if this is ever going to happen. I want you to understand, when you can get into gratitude, you will start to see things changing around you. And the more you choose to focus your attention on what it is that you want, the more it is that that is where you're focusing, and the universe can work infinite ways to help you because you're in more of a surrendered state. You're open, you're ready, you're willing. and you are focusing on what it is that you want. When you focus on everything that you don't have, it is blocking the universe from helping you. In a sense, it's controlling, because as much as this is going to be hard to hear, you're choosing to feel this way. We're going to talk about grief in a second, but you're choosing to wake up and say, you know what? Today's going to be a day. I'm just going to get through the day. I wish people knew what I was going through, because then maybe they would just leave me alone or be a little bit nicer. Think about how you are feeling, because when you are in those low vibrational emotions and you are connecting with all the conditioning that you've already gone through, you will make decisions and take actions from that place of fear, that place of uncertainty, that place of just tell me what I need to do and I'll do it. But that surrounding yourself with limiting beliefs, they affect how you're operating. They affect how you're showing up. You have a lack of gratitude. So yes, I can work with you and I can help you find gratitude. I can work with you and I can help you find clarity in the mind. I can work with you and I can help you to get raw and real with yourself. I have all the questions to ask you. But when I go as far as to say that they can actually destroy your manifestations, that's when you get to the point where you say, I just need to be done. This isn't working for me anymore. My finances tell me I can't do this anymore. You're done. Guys, I can tell you, and I've shared with you how fear was the loudest voice in my head for a very long time. It destroyed my manifestations. It took me out of my manifestations and what it is that I wanted for a long time, until I said, enough is enough. I started asking myself every day, what is it that I would desire? What is it that I would love? And what am I willing to go do to get it? That is honestly the difference between success and failure. You're not failing. You are not a failure. But when you allow the inner chatter and these low emotionals to be disruptive to your manifestations, because that's where you're focusing all of your attention, I'm asking you to focus your attention on what it is that you want and find gratitude. Allow yourself to laugh. Guys, I understand grieving is not linear. I have been out of the fertility world for more than 3 years. I still have moments where grief hits me when I think about all the things that I went through. When I think about the women that I'm coaching, when I think about everyone that is listening to my podcast, I still think about why do we have to go through this? But I also know the power of our mind, and that's why I'm here. I know that you can have what you truly desire, but you have to understand your beliefs. You have to get raw and real with yourself. You have to hold that clarity in your mind, and you need to find gratitude so that you can start to raise your vibration so you can attract higher vibrational things. Grief looks different for everyone. How you internalize it, how you process it, how you move through it. I'm here to tell you it is okay to be grieving and still want to have your desired family. It is okay to be grieving the things that you're going through, but still choose to focus your attention on what it is that you want. I'm not asking you to erase everything that you've gone through, but you've gone through that conditioning, so give yourself new conditioning. So I want you to think of this. When you're hungry, do you give yourself something to eat? When you're thirsty, do you go get something to drink? The answer is yes. So when you have those negative thoughts, can you feed your mind the way you would feed your body to get rid of that discomfort? Feed your mind with saying, what is it that I would truly love? Don't hold on to the how. Don't hold on to the when. Don't hold on to any of those low vibrational feelings of fear, judgment, money, any of those things. Don't let other people's opinions or other people's stories deter you from what you want. You want what you want because you want it and you are entitled to have it. You deserve it. So, can you feed your mind every time those negative thoughts come in by saying, what is it that I would really love to do? And what am I willing to do for it? And is it a simple thing like connecting with gratitude? Guys, there's a quote that says, "The cave that you fear to enter is the one that holds all the treasures." What does that mean for you? How can you apply that quote to your fertility journey? What are you fearing? Are you afraid to keep going? Are you afraid that this isn't working and it may never work? But what happens when you actually enter that cave and it holds all of your treasures? That cave is in your mind. That cave is how you feed your mind. Connect with what it is that you want and find gratitude everywhere that you can. I want you to find gratitude in everywhere that you can. Start small, don't overwhelm yourself, but truly start wherever it is that you want. Gratitude is things all around you. My gratitude now looks very different than it did on my fertility journey. I find gratitude in things like a washing machine and a dishwasher and my van and all the things that are in my house. Because I think about someone took the time and effort to create a machine that washes my clothes, that does my dishes. I put in some detergent, I press the start button, and boom, these things are clean. I can find gratitude in those things and I can actually emanate a high vibration from them because I can think about my childhood washing dishes from a young age all the way until I moved out of my parents' house and went to college. They didn't have a dishwasher. I hand washed my dishes. So now, in my adult years, when I have a dishwasher in my home and I can just put things in and press start, it takes so much time out of my day. And I don't have to do them right now. I can put them in the dishwasher and start it later, or start it and then empty it later. I find gratitude for my car because I had to walk everywhere to school. I had to walk to work. I had to rely on public transit. But even then, you can find gratitude if you don't own your vehicle. Can you find gratitude in a public transit? Yes. Someone created this idea in their mind and created something that you walk onto a bus or you get into a taxi or an Uber. I'm grateful for coffee shops and other things because I didn't have to make my morning coffee. I can just walk in and grab a coffee and it's made for me. What can you find gratitude for? I am so incredibly grateful for the internet. Do you remember when there was dial up? I am so incredibly grateful for Wi Fi, internet, high speed, Zoom, and having a platform to have my podcast. I am so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you that are listening. I am so incredibly grateful that I took a chance on me and I put my podcast out there. I am so incredibly grateful for my clients. So, yes, guys, I still have off days. And when I have those off days, I dive into gratitude. I ask myself, what am I truly grateful for? I can list so many things now because I know what gratitude does for me. It raises me up, and then it allows me to go into a spot where I can start connecting to what it is that I want again. I also remind myself it's a choice to stay in my environment. It is a choice to understand that when contrast is going on around you, how I process it, how I move through it, how I respond to it versus reacting to it. I'm not perfect. I still react. Don't get me wrong. But I also have things in place to remind myself, hey, wait, this is not going how I planned. Do I want to stay in this place or do I want to connect to how I want things in this situation, this circumstance, this environment to change? And how can I connect to gratitude every day? How can I connect to my goals every day? How can I connect to the things that I love? I've cultivated a daily practice. And yes, full transparency, when I first started learning about gratitude, I wrote down things just to write things down. I'm like, yep, checked off gratitude. But if I didn't actually feel those things that I was grateful for and didn't connect to what that meant for me and how that made me feel grateful, my vibration didn't change. But I wrote something down. I still noticed a slight difference because I focused my intention and my attention on things that I'm grateful for versus things that are going on around me. So when I say it's plain and simple, it is a choice. No matter what you're going through, I know from social media groups that I'm in and the stories and blog posts and things that I read, and when people share with me the things that they're going through, I understand. But I am here to tell you, you can find gratitude in the smallest of places, and you can choose to find gratitude. You can choose to pull yourself out, even when it seems like it's impossible. You're going to meet resistance with me on this. You're going to tell me why you can't find gratitude or how can you possibly find gratitude. But I want you to get raw and real with yourself because I want you to create that clarity in your mind so that you know that you are worthy, that you deserve to have the things that you desire and that you will hold them. But do you believe that? I want you to be in a place where you're not disrupting your manifestations because you're always connecting with those low vibrational feelings. I want you to empower yourself to say, like, I am incredible. I get to choose how I want to feel. I get to connect with my manifestations. I get to connect with me, and I get to choose this over and over and over again. I want to share with you because this is something that's really exciting to me, and this is something I'm incredibly grateful for. The Fertility Mind Gratitude Journal is waiting to be approved. And in the gratitude journal, we talk about gratitude. We talk about things that you're choosing to release today. We talk about a lot of different things. You connect with your goal every single day. You spend some time visualizing. But there's even a challenge where I get you to challenge yourself on choosing your mood. Morning, morning, afternoon, and evening. It can be the same mood that you want to be in all day long, or you can choose one for each section. And you get to check in with yourself 3 times a day. You get to be accountable to yourself. Because when you set your intention for the morning, how you want to feel, did you stay in that mood? Did you fall out of it? If you did, what was the mood that you chose for the afternoon? And then you get to recalibrate yourself and be like, right, I get to choose this. If you just heard bad news today and you're thinking, I'm trying to do this challenge, but I just got horrible news, I feel completely derailed. Give yourself a gentle hug. Allow yourself to feel these emotions for a moment. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to release these emotions, and then say, you know what? I know this is not what I expected. This is not what I want right now, but I'm choosing to focus my thoughts on where it is that I want to go because every day I'm one step closer. Can you do that? Because you can, but are you willing to do that? Or is there comfort in the uncomfortable, crappy feeling of just resonating that life is hard, that this isn't working out for you? I get it, guys. I was there. I don't share a lot of the contrast I experienced in my life. Some things are just not meant for social media, and some things are just not my story to share. But I get living through burnout. I get living through the exhaustion. I get living through everywhere you turn. Someone has what you desire, and you think, when? When will it be me? I'm so sick and tired of trying. I get that. So empower yourself to choose gratitude. Empower yourself. Be proud of yourself you are listening to this podcast right now. Be proud of yourself that you are choosing to grow your awareness. You are interested in mindset and manifestation, that you are seeking different ways to get what it is that you desire. Find gratitude in that. Be grateful for yourself. Feed your mind because it's hungry for your transformation. You are so done being at the point where you're being right now, so choose something different. Take a chance on you. And it really does start with gratitude because gratitude breathes life into everything. It raises your vibration. I'll say this again though. If you're just writing down gratitude to write something down and you're not feeling anything, if you're writing affirmations over and over and over, but it's actually subliminally affirming that you don't have these things, then stop. Do something different. What can you do different today that you can find gratitude in that makes you feel really good? What can you do to help focus yourself on what it is that you want? What can you do? Only you can answer that. No matter how much I can give you step by step of how to manifest, if you don't believe it, if you aren't willing, you're going to meet resistance every part of the way. And what my how was could look very different than how your how is. But the universal laws are governed to every single one, every single cell from a blade of grass to the universe. The universal laws are governed. We all live by them. But do you know how to work with them? So I'm giving you tools to start creating and connecting and being in a state of where your desires are versus always being in this place where everything is not working for you. Please know I am sending you so, so, so much love. And I'm asking you to find gratitude today. I am asking you to dive into something that you're grateful for. And when you start to feel better, start connecting with what it is that you want. Because if you can constantly think and remind yourself that low emotions create low vibrations that are disrupting or destructive to your manifestation, does that light you up enough to say, okay, I don't want to go there. I don't want to resonate with that feeling today. Nope. Can you start believing that you're powerful enough to choose your mood, that you can choose your thoughts? Can you do that? Absolutely you can, but it's a choice. You have to choose what you're willing to do. I can't choose your thoughts for you. I can't choose your clothes for you. I can't choose how you want to show up. I can give you the tools, but you have to choose to use them. So I am sending you love, and I am telling you with my whole heart, I am proud of you for being here today. I love you, and I want you to see your manifestations. I want you to experience all the things that you experience. So go get to work and start to watch things change around you. I want to express my deepest gratitude for you tuning in with me today. I am proud of you, and I am sending you so much love. I want you to remember that you hold incredible strength and power within you. If this episode resonated with you, or you know anyone that would benefit from hearing, please share. And if you haven't done so already, head over to Spotify or Apple, and please leave a rating and a review. In love and light, Jessica.